Good morning, Big Catch Fish in Mississippi. We're gonna catch some crappie this morning. It's summertime, it's hot. Surface temperatures in the high 80s, probably get up into the 90s. And these fish are roaming around in schools and mostly on the brush piles. So we're gonna try to get to them. It's been mostly a finesse pattern. These fish are picky, man. I'm gonna try to catch some. Thanks for hanging out. Anytime you can get out there and catch fish in August or September, it's a pretty big deal as far as I'm concerned. I don't know what it is, but the fish just seem to really turn off. But anyway, I got my jig dropping down. I see some fish on the brush right there, and one of them is about to hit it right there. Got one right out of the middle of that. Not very big, but we're keeping these small ones today. He's 11. I'm gonna let him go. A little 11-inch. Okay, there's a nice looking group of fish on that brush pile. And my jig and weight are right there. One of them's about to hit it. Got that one. He came up and nabbed it. Right off the top of that, man. Get up here, dude. You going in the boat. This morning I'm fishing in an area about the size of a football field. There's tons of brush there. And I really didn't have to move 12 and a half. Pretty much the whole day. 12 and a half inch black crappie. Yeah, man. Get in there. That's number 2. Hey, if you get a chance, hit that like button and please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much for your support, man. I appreciate it. There are plenty of days in August and September I'll fish. Might only catch 1 or 2 fish. So this particular day was really good and not typical, I would say, for this time of year. But anyway, I got my jig and weight dropping down. There's a nice looking group of fish there. I'm gonna drag it through them. One of them's about to hit it. Got that one. He came up and got it. Get up here, dude. LiveScope certainly makes it a lot easier to find the fish and get your lure in front of them. But even the LiveScope doesn't guarantee you're gonna catch them. That's 12 and a half inch. That's what we're looking for this morning. 12 and a half inch black crappie. So here I've got the Wild Willie's OCD Little Minnow, 1.75 inch. The color is pearly gates, and they seem to really be wanting it. I've got a 64th ounce trout magnet jig head I'm using too. So I try to keep my expectations in check in August and September, and that really helps to make it a little bit more fun. All right, there's my jig and weight. I'm bringing it right on top of that brush. Oh, just missed one. A lot of times it takes multiple casts to the same structure. Get that soft plastic lined up, get it back in there. And you got to keep putting it in front of them. Okay, there's my jig and weight right on top of that mass of brush and fish. It looks actually really pretty good. Okay, no takers there, so I'm going to reel it up, cast it back out there. There's some good ones that followed it. Okay, there's the jig and weight. Dropping down to them again. Bringing that jig right through them. One of them's about to get it right there. Got that one. He couldn't resist it. Had to get the Wild Willie's Little Minnow. The pearly gates. Oops. Come on, little dude. Shoot in the live well. 12 and a quarter. 12 and a quarter black crappie. Get in there, dude. Oh my goodness, that's number 4. still moving around in this area. It's loaded with brush piles and fish. It's about the size of maybe a half a football field or so. There's one about to get it. Got that one. Sucker will keep. He's 11, almost 11 and a half. Black crappie, almost 11 and a half. Good thick shoulder, little dude. There's a good looking group of fish right there. I'm gonna chunk it out there, drop it down, get one of these Mac Daddies to eat it. Oh, that's gotta be a bass or a catfish. Dang. Unfortunately, it's the wrong species. Man, I really do not like catching a catfish. Besides the fact that they slime up everything, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten poked by them, and it hurts. But if you do get poked, you can rub their skin over the puncture site. That seems to help. All right, I'm gonna get it back out. There's a, man, that's a good looking school of them. There's my jig and weight. Dropping down to them. You just reel it on top of them or fish it through the fish. Twitch it every once in a while. Hopefully one of them will hit it. One of them's about to get it right there. There we go. Right out of the middle of that, man. I knew that. There'd be a crappie willing to bite in that mess. Getting that transducer lined up with your cast is probably the hardest part about LiveScope. About almost 11. I'll let this little guy go. 11 inch. Still got some thick shoulders. At 30 feet from the boat, your 20-degree transducer cone will pick up your jig in about an area 10 feet wide. So right in the center of your transducer beam, you'll get 5 feet on either side at 30 feet from the boat. So you got to really get it lined up, practice casting, and it gets a lot easier over time. There's my jig and weight, bringing it through. You can see some of the fish spooking when the weight and jig line hits them. There's my jig and weight. No takers on that one. So I'm going to reel it up, chunk it back out there again. Man, that's a good looking group of fish right there. Alright, there's my jig and weight. And just because you can see them doesn't mean they're going to bite. This time of year is so tough because you can see the fish, but they just aren't interested in biting. And it is a tough time of year to fish. But I am going to keep bugging them until they bite it. Alright, there's my jig and weight. Bringing it through there one more time. You can see with my right hand, I twitch it a little bit every once in a while. Okay, no takers there, so I'm going to chunk it out there again. There's dropping down to them. One of them's going to get it this time. Yep. Got that one. He couldn't resist it. That's a big one too. Maybe we'll get that school fired up. $13 black crappie. Yeah, man. Get in there, dude. That's the 7th one so far, I believe. The 7th. Alright, I'm going to put it back out there again. Let's zoom in a little bit. Man, that group of fish looks good. Looks like there's some good ones in there. Twitch it like I just did, and one of them's going to eat it. Got that one. He couldn't resist the little twitch. Man, there's some big crappie in there too. Goodness gracious. It's gonna be delicious. It's 13.5 inch. Over. 13.5 inch black crappie. Big fish so far today. This time of year I really like pearl colored hues, and Wild Willie's OCD makes the bait called Pearly Gates, and these fish really do like it a lot. Alright, I put my jig and weight out there, bringing it on top of a different group of fish in that same area. One of them's got it right there. Got that sucker right there. Get up here, dude. About almost 13-inch black crappie. Almost 13 inches. Yeah, man. I'll tell you, one of the hardest things is knowing when to change colors, when to move to a different area, and really time on the water is probably the best thing. But if I'm not getting bit and I see the fish there, I'm going to change up colors. After I catch a fish on a brush pile, they stop biting. I usually change colors before I move. Anyway, one of them's about to get it right there. God, that one. Swimming right in front of him, he couldn't resist it. Get up here then, little. It ain't too little. Sucker's 13 3/4. 13 3/4 inch black crappie. Yeah. There's my jig and weight, 40-something feet from the boat. I'm bringing it through those scattered fish. One of them's chasing it right there, it looks like. He got it. Got that one. 42 feet out there. Guess we can cast to him. Get up here, dude. I wanted to get some of that wildwoods. Just over 11. We'll let him go. There's my jig and weight, about 14 feet from the boat. I'm going to bring it through there and see if one of them will get it. Missed them, so get your plastic lined up, chunk it out there again. Okay, there is my jig and weight dropping down to him. I don't know if those are bluegill or crappie or catfish or what, but I'm bringing my jig to him. One of them's about to eat it. That one was a crappie. Little tiny one. Well, not even 10 inch probably. Okay, watch how fast this fish is moving when it hits my lure. So I chunked it out there. You can see it right there on the far right coming into the field of view. I'm kind of dragging it through those fish. And watch how fast that fish is moving. I'm bringing my jig right to it right about now. Oh, that's a catfish. Dang. Sometimes it'll be a crappie. When they first hit, for about a second, you think, oh man, I got a toad crappie on here. But then when you know it's a catfish, it's a little bit disappointing. Being outside, being able to catch any fish, it's such a blessing. I'd much rather be out there catching catfish, trying to catch crappie, than to be in the house. Okay, there's my jig and weight. I'm bringing it down to that brush pile on top. One's gonna get it. Couldn't resist. little small 11-inch maybe. Okay, there's the jig and weight. Good looking fish down there. See if I can get one of these mugs to bite it. One of them's chasing it, it looks like, and one of them is about to eat it right there. Got that one. Oh man. Wrong species. A group of bluegill, looks like. When I'm casting into these fish, I usually try to bring it on top of the fish. You don't want to get hung up, but it's almost impossible to not get hung up when you're fishing brush like this, especially when you're swimming jigs through the brush like I am. But anyway, it's a good way to catch them in the summertime. It's a good pattern. It works pretty much throughout the lake if you can find a brush pile with active fish on it. Okay, there's my jig and weight. I'm bringing it through those fish. One of them got it. Got that one. 27 feet out there. Let's catch a couple more and get the heck out of here. Man, it's hot. $12.5 black crappie, 12.5. Going in the boat. Yeah, in this cast, I'm going to move my forward range out to about 45 or 50 feet just to make sure that I'm lined up with a brush pile right. So here I am. I'm going to zoom out real quick just to see what's going on out there. Then I'll zoom back in to about 40 feet from the boat. That gives pretty decent separation. I don't want to get too close to these fish because it seems to spook them. I do better this time of year casting to the fish 20, 30, or even 40 feet away. And I'm bringing it through that mess of them. Looks like one of them's about to get it. Got that one. He's 28 feet out there. So, close to 11.5. They're keeping that boy. Oh yeah, black crappie, 11.5 in the boat. All right, bring it back through him again. One of them's about to get it right there. Got that one. It's got to be a catfish. Dang. Nope, that's a crappie. That sucker way out there. Almost 12 inches. Put him in the boat. Black crappie, 12-inch. Alright, we're gonna catch one more, call it a day. Keep making multiple casts. Alright, here's some fish right under the boat. I flipped it out there 12 feet away, dropping it down to him. Gonna kind of bring it through him. I don't usually do very well sitting on top of the fish at this time of year. But anyway, since they're there, I'm going to drop down to them, kind of twitch it around. Lost sight of the jig, so I'm going to reel it up and flip it back out there again. Alright, there's the jig and weight dropping down to him. This time, one of them's about to get it. Right there. Got that one. He came up, couldn't resist it. Call it a day. 11.5. Black crappie, 11.5-inch. I think I got 13 or 14 in there. I'm gonna go clean them. Call it a day. Woo, man, it is hot out here. I fished for a couple hours. I caught 16, I think. Kept like 13. I'm gonna clean them and have some fish. Love crappie. If you've never eaten crappie, you gotta try it. Anyway, thanks for hanging out today, man. Get out there and go fishing soon.